From 3 News Now and the Omaha World-Herald, this is Omaha Sunday Morning with Jennifer Griswold.
This week on Omaha Sunday Morning, it has been 43 years since a massive tornado carved a path through Omaha. The 1975 tornado stunned the city and those who lived through it. We go back to that day with the 911 emergency calls and photos of the aftermath. And 107, that's what the candles atop the cake of an Omaha woman said this week, as she celebrated the major milestone with friends and family and reflected upon the long life she has enjoyed. Good morning and thanks for joining us this Sunday. I'm Jennifer Griswold. In the summer of 2016, the deaths of 2 little boys hit our community especially hard. One of the boys, 3-year-old Aspen Seaman, drowned in a Waterloo lake. In the wake of his death, support poured in for the family. Now they are supporting others and keeping Aspen's memory alive. On Friday, they hosted a big fundraiser dubbed the Seersucker and Sombreros Derby de Mayo. 3 News Now reporter Shantae Passmore sat down with Aspen's mother, who's on a mission to help other parents avoid the heartbreak she experienced.
On a windy day, Lisa Seaman gazes out at the lake.
I knew that either I could go to just shut down.
Seeing only 2 paths.
Or I could do something positive.
She chose the latter.
We started talking about fun ideas and making it fun, for Aspen.
Aspen, her son. In February, she said she jump-started plans for a May fundraiser where Cinco de Mayo and the Kentucky Derby would collide, all for fun because
Aspen was all about fun.
Her quest stems from a deep wound.
We were the picture of helicopter parents, and it literally took 10 seconds.
In those seconds, she said her 3-year-old boy ran into this water where he drowned in June of 2016. Since then, the Seamans made it their mission to spread water and fire safety through the Aspen and Alley Project, partnering with Omaha Fire, as seen here at a school in December. Over the holidays, Lisa launched a stuffed animal and food drive for families undergoing tragedies or illnesses. She wanted to be there for others at a time when so many did the same for her, when people placed pinwheels to honor Aspen. Her passion, personal.
Behind the scenes, it's not so, I don't handle it with that much grace.
Yet, her hope is greater.
I just hope he's proud of us for what we're doing in his name.
The money from Friday's Seersucker and Sombreros Derby de Mayo will be used to fund CPR training and other life-saving measures and to teach kids how to swim. Seaman says there's also work to bring life jacket stations to every public pool in Omaha. Young learners can gain a lot just from opening a book. However, not all children have their own reading materials. But as Omaha World-Herald visual journalist Megan McGill shows us, one couple is working to change that.
There's a Yeti in my freezer with the same good taste as me.
Now the only trick I need is to make him disappear.
For Phil and Stacy Heisler, there's magic in a good book.
Holy cow, maybe this will clear things up.
The book you see here is actually theirs. Composed of 41 small poems, this book was no small undertaking. In fact, it took 7 years.
We got contributions from authors and illustrators all over the world.
The Heislers own a personalized children's book company called Marble Spark. At the same time that company was launched, so was their charity, Project Open Book.
Project Open Book for us was a way for us to give back.
The book titled The Yeti in My Freezer is not for sale. Instead, the couple is traveling around the Omaha area donating it. Betts Elementary is their 4th book drop so far.
They all agreed. Too bad they couldn't read.
They say reading to the kids is fun, but this part never gets old.
You get your very own copy of this book today.
Just knowing that we have provided that book for them for enjoyment and for learning is so great.
The school's principal feels the same way.
Some of our students don't have very many books of their own at home, and so this is a great opportunity for them to have a book, to take it home, to read it with their family.
The Heislers may not be able to reach all 13,000 kids now, but that isn't stopping them from trying to spread the magic, one book at a time.
Currently, Marvel Spark is paying for the printing and shipping costs of Project Open Book, but Stacy said that if they can get the permission from the contributors to sell the Yeti in My Freezer, the proceeds would go toward more book drops. There wouldn't be enough room on the cake to put all the candles to celebrate one Millard woman's special day. She turned 107 years old this week, but this birthday is even more unique. 3 News Now reporter Jake Wozakowski met up with Edna Karloff, who says a century of memories has given her a life of fulfillment, and it's all come full circle.
We're going to set you right here now, Mom.
For more than a century,
Oh, golly.
Edna Karloff has found the humor in life.
I broke the camera.
For 107 years to be exact.
107, that's what you are today. Yeah. Yeah. That awful?
At Good Samaritan Society Assisted Living Home in Millard, she celebrates the occasion.
Happy birthday, dear Edna. He said, what do you think about being 107 years old?
No.
No.
Just a good living all my life since I was born.
Yeah.
I had a happy life, very happy.
Edna is in the top 1% of oldest people in Douglas County. Her son says she's been hanging in there well.
It's great that they're doing this for them. I didn't even know it was going to happen like this, but it's awful great that they're doing it. And yeah, it's neat to have 100 and some ages behind you.
She's able to share the special occasion with 5 other women at Good Samaritan who are also 100 years old and above.
I have a wonderful family and lots of things to be thankful for. But at the same time, when you get older and older, then you get to be ready to go.
Edna raised her family on a farm near Chalco, but she was actually born blocks away from where Good Samaritan Society stands when it was just fields in 1911 near what is now 120th and Q Streets.
We just celebrated 50 years this last June at the facility, so when we heard Edna's story, we thought we have to celebrate that. How cool is that to turn 107 years old in the same place that you were born at?
Though her hearing's going, her family says her mind is still good, and that's a blessing.
What's that? Go home and shave. That's right. Tell him. That's right. I love you.
And happy birthday to her. Edna's son says he attributes her longevity to not taking medications, having a cocktail once in a while, and having a strong heart. On this day, 43 years ago, a storm was brewing, one that would eventually produce one of the most damaging tornadoes in history. Omaha's 1975 tornado carved a path through the city. When Omaha Sunday Morning continues, we take a look back at that day and the stunning images that captured the aftermath. Today marks 43 years since the 1975 tornado tore through Omaha. 3 people died and much of the city was left in shambles. The magnitude of the destruction took the whole city by surprise. Today, Omaha World-Herald visual journalist Chris Makian takes a look back at the path of that destructive storm via 911 audio and images.
Communications? Yeah, this is Mrs. George Newman. I live Route 1 Papillion right alongside the interstate. Tornadoes are swirling all over out here. The tornado hit our house. Okay, ma'am, somebody hurt. No, I'm just scared. Okay, ma'am, just try to find some cover. We get somebody out there as soon as we can. Okay, ma'am. Yeah, we're hitting the sirens now, sir. Okay, yeah, there's a tornado. It pushed down, I think, at about 102nd Minute. 172, I had a tornado hit the ground. It's on Harrison Street. No, it's up on Harrison Street. On Harrison Street on 102nd? Yeah. Okay. We can see stuff flying out the window, right? So there's a tornado on the ground. Emergency forces is coming right at us. Which way? It's going north. North and not even Harrison. It's on the ground. It's on the ground. I just saw a tornado. Yes, sir. Received a report and you should take shelter. Okay, thank you. They need an ambulance at 84th Avenue. Hold on. Stay on the line, sir. Okay. Report a fire. It's at 84th and L.
Hey, that bank at 84th and L is no longer in existence.
Yes, do you know that Westgate was hit by a tornado? How much damage is done in the area? There's a hole inside of our house, windows blown out, and same with the neighbors. Tornado touched down at Westgate School and took it. Did anybody get injured? I don't know. Oh, I just seen the school. If you find that there are injuries, you call us back. Okay. All right.
I know they took a pretty good path right through 72nd Street. Everywhere from south to north. They went right down 72nd, about 12 blocks each side. Well, they took quite a few buildings out through there.
I'm all right. My family's all right, but it looks like World War II out there.
Just a moment.
Mercy Road, there's been a building up there that's been flattened. We don't know if you're aware of it or not. Tornado hit Bergen Mercy Hospital. And I've got a tornado that flipped cars over 84th and L, 67th and Pratt, 96th and Q, 120th and Q, 16th and Florence Boulevard, all over the city.
72nd and 72nd and Dodge no longer exist.
Service.
The sirens are going off.
Yes, take shelter, ma'am. It's a tornado.
Sir?
South side of the street, about the fifth house down from the corner. Fifth house from the corner, 72nd Western Avenue?
Yeah, the power lines are all down and laying in the street.
All right.
It's bad shape.
All right.
Well, there's actually debris flying through the air.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Probably second and third now on the radio. There's a tornado hitting right there now. 72 in Seward at this time. Oh, but they tore up a shitload of territory.
67, 91 Evans. A man bleeding to death and a woman in bad shape.
Just a minute, sir. Stand in line.
Emergency service. Yeah, I just wanted to report where a tornado touched down in the Benson Golf Course, just a little funnel cloud.
So much destruction. The images from that deadly twister are simply stunning. And for the people who snapped so many of them, they are forever imprinted in their minds. One of those photographers was a man by the name of Bob Dunn. Dunn was at the Exarban racetrack on that fateful day, ready to take pictures of the races, but then it all changed. Omaha World-Herald visual journalist Ray Mines has his tornado story.
This is my viewpoint from the little shelter down at the winter circle looking across. This happens to be, I think, the second picture I took. The first picture I took, the cloud of the rain was over here. The pictures of the tornado I shot with a little roll film speed graphic. Took 4 pictures of the funnel and then one later on. It got dark. It was really dark. I could look over and see this big, dark cloud moving towards us. So I said, well, what else have I got to do but take a picture? The sound of the wind and everything else, I related like a train. All kinds of wind noise, and of course there was a lot of sirens going at that point. Don Lee was the World-Herald sports writer, and when he came to the track the next day, I told him, well, I've got a picture of it. And so he got a hold of it and put it on the AP wire, and so it went all over the country. And he did have my credit line on it, and so I got calls from people in California and Texas and everywhere else. Hey, Bob, is that your picture? And it was.
An amazing photo. The storm caused more than $250 million in damage. That's more than $1 billion in today's dollars. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but that wasn't the case for one Cass County dog who got caught in Sin City. Still ahead on Omaha Sunday Morning, we have the story of Nigel the dog and his trip back home after being lost on the West Coast. One Cass County dog is back home resting this morning after a wild adventure, but his owner fears his St. Bernard Mastiff mix may just be planning his next vacation. 3 News Now morning anchor Emily Zink shows us how the pup made it from small-town Nebraska to Sin City.
Sometimes Nigel the dog's curiosity takes him outside his fenced-in rural Cass County yard.
We had figured we had it escape-proof by now.
Ryan Brady says since his family rescued Nigel 4 years ago, he's run away a fair share of times. Last year, the dog they call Houdini found a spot he is fond of.
He's no dummy. He wanted more donuts, so he goes right back to Cubby's now if he gets a chance.
When Nigel gets out, he heads towards this Greenwood gas station in hopes of snagging more sweets. Brady, a police officer, is usually hot on his dog's heels and picks him up before he gets here. Not this time.
He bought some dog food and a leash, I guess, and off they went.
As the story goes, that night Nigel was picked up by a trucker passing through.
Where in the world is Nigel?
It was anyone's guess, and the question became the title of a Facebook page that quickly took off.
We're these country people, small town America, we lose our dog, and all of a sudden people from all over the United States are trying to help us find him.
But days, then weeks passed, still no signs of Nigel. So a phone call 2.5 weeks after he ran away came as a complete shock.
And they said, hey, we've just scanned a microchip on a dog that was brought in for vaccinations and for licensing. Are you missing a dog?
Brady says Nigel made his way to Sin City, where the trucker gave him to a family.
Like it was the dog's idea to go to Las Vegas.
But in this case, what happens in Vegas didn't stay there. Brady hopped on a plane, picked Nigel up at the Sun City Animal Hospital, and drove 1,200 miles straight through back to Nebraska. To say Brady's wife and children are relieved to have Nigel back is an understatement. But Brady fears this may not be Nigel's only vacation.
I think he would go. I think he likes the adventure and the promise of donuts.
Emily Zink.
He's probably looking for truckers now.
3 News Now.
Let's try Miami.
Yeah, why not? Keep traveling. No, don't, Nigel. Brady says his last-minute flight to Vegas was paid for by Big Red Rescue, the rescue group they adopted Nigel from. He says his family is grateful and wants to pay it forward. He's encouraging people to donate to that rescue group. A special award this week for a man who put on the badge and served the Omaha community for decades. Al Martinez Sr. spent 33 years with the Omaha Police Department. He was the first Latino officer hired by OPD in 1956. Al was involved with youth sports, the Special Olympics, organizing Memorial Day ceremonies, and building the GI Forum in South Omaha. Martinez says he was shocked and proud of the honor. He vividly remembers his first days.
I did. When I first started, I would walk on Q Street. They had call boxes in them days. And every half hour you'd have to go over to the call box and call in. I knew you were okay.
Al wasn't the only one in his family to protect and serve. His sons Mark and Al Jr. also went into law enforcement, as well as other relatives. Still ahead, editorial cartoonist Jeff Katurba tackles a topic that's had Nebraska talking for years when Omaha Sunday Morning continues. Finally this week, Omaha World-Herald editorial cartoonist Jeff Katurba has a few things to say about Nebraska's death penalty controversy. Watch as he takes the side of light over darkness.
I'm Jeff Katurba. I am the editorial cartoonist for the Omaha World-Herald. Recently in Nebraska, a group of state senators subpoenaed Scott Frakes. Now, Frakes is the director of the Nebraska Department of Corrections, and the senators want to ask him about the state's new death penalty protocol. Mainly, they want to know how he obtained the drugs the state intends to use to carry out executions. But now, in his effort to stop the senators from questioning the prison director, Nebraska's Attorney General, Doug Peterson, has filed a lawsuit against those state senators. Sounds complicated, right? Maybe my latest cartoon on the subject will help clear things up. In fact, it's a very simple and to-the-point cartoon. Most syringes are transparent. But not in Nebraska. Here's the thing. Wherever you stand on the death penalty, can't we at least agree that the public is always better served having information? Especially when it comes to such an emotionally charged issue as the death penalty. They say the pen is mightier than the sword, and I do believe that. I also believe when it comes to the public's right to know, light is mightier than darkness.
That's all for this week. Thanks for watching Omaha Sunday Morning, and we'll see you back here next week.